Hello, amazing architects. Welcome back. So last week you made paper structures using nothing but white paper, tape, and scissors with a partner or with your table group. So today we're going to move on to the next step of our exploration of architecture. And what you are going to do is create a drawing of your structure within a landscape. Now, you might be wondering, what is a landscape? Well, let me show you. A landscape is an artwork that includes natural scenery like mountains, rolling hills, trees, lakes, and so on. Sometimes landscapes also include animals, houses, and people. A typical landscape has a foreground, middle ground, and background. The foreground is everything that appears really close to you. The middle ground includes things that are in the middle of the scene, and the background includes the things that are really far away. This painting is called Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh from 1889. What do you see in the foreground? What do you see in the middle ground? And what things do you see in the background? Friedensreich Hundertwasser is one of the most important artists from Europe after World War II. Hundertwasser is both an architect and a painter. He created paintings of landscapes and buildings using bright colors, interesting shapes, and dark, bold lines. His architecture uses the same bold lines, bright colors, and creative shapes that you see in his paintings. Looking at some of his architecture might make you wonder, is this a real building or is it a painting? Let's look at some of his work. Step 1. Make 3 rough draft sketches. In your sketchbook, you're going to come up with 3 different ideas for your landscape. In your landscape, you should have a clear foreground, middle ground, and background. When I get started, I like to start by creating lines to show where my foreground, middle ground, and background are going to be. You can make these lines straight, or you could even make them rolling like hills. I'm drawing pretty lightly in my sketchbook so that I can erase lines as I go. Next, what I'm going to do is decide where in my landscape I would like my architectural building to be. So I have my paper sculpture in front of me. And I'm carefully looking at it while I draw. So I think I'm going to put mine kind of close to the foreground. It will probably overlap a lot of these lines, and that's okay, I can erase them later. So because it's up here, it's going to be pretty big. Now, you might choose to draw the sculpture that you created And you might decide that you want to make some changes to it. Whatever you decide, that's fine. This is your artwork, so you get to choose how it looks. I'm going to add some extra details onto my drawing. So I'm just using my sculpture as an inspiration, as a starting point. And then I can be creative and add whatever I want to my artwork. And any lines that are in the middle, I'm just going to erase. Once you've come up with one idea, see if you can come up with 2 more ideas. Maybe even experiment with where you place your structure in your landscape. This time, I'm going to put it way back in the distance. If there's a car, there needs to be a road. See how many details you can add in. Trees, flowers, cars, people. And then finally come up with your 3rd idea. This time I'm going to look at my castle from a different point of view, so I'm turning the entire thing right around. Step 2. Pick your favorite drawing. Draw it with pencil on your final draft paper.